An ancient text tells the story of Lila and the Goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of higher wisdom and knowledge. Saraswati did not teach Lila doctrines. She simply opened her eyes to the nature of perception. She showed her that the same man could live and die in one world, while at the same time ruling in another, and both worlds could seem completely real. Have you ever felt that something is not quite right with this world? As if you have been dreaming your entire life, while being completely certain that you are awake. In a dream, you feel pain, you feel love, you see walls, you hear sounds. And while you are inside it, it is your only reality. But how do you know that when you wake up in the morning, you have truly awakened? What if this world is only another level of a vast matrix, a projection appearing within consciousness itself? The teaching of Lila does not simply say that everything around you is false. It points to something much stranger. The world exists, but perhaps not in the way you have always believed. So the greatest question is not, in which matrix are you living? The real question is, who is the observer who sees them all? Close your eyes, be still and watch much.
Yogi Vasishtha, Aditya Shakti, the story of Lila Vasishtha continued. O Rama, just as from the awakened state there is no material reality in the objects seen in a dream, although during the dream they appear real and solid, so this world appears material, yet in truth it is pure consciousness. There is not even a drop of water in a mirage, and in the same way there is no real world in any absolute sense. There is only pure consciousness. Only knowledge founded upon misunderstanding clings firmly to the idea of a world. In truth, there is no difference between the words world, Brahman, infinity, and the Supreme Self. The world is as true in relation to Brahman as a castle in the air, seen in a dream, is true in relation to the perceptions of awakened consciousness. Therefore, the world and cosmic consciousness are synonyms. One day, O Rama, there lived upon the earth a king named Padma. He was excellent in every way, and through his own character and his rule, he increased the glory of his dynasty He respected religious traditions as the ocean respects the authority of the shore. He conquered his enemies as the sun conquers darkness, as fire turns hay into ashes. He destroyed corruption in society. Holy men relied upon him as the gods rely upon heaven. He was the embodiment of every virtue. His opponents trembled before him on the battlefield like leaves upon vines, trembling beneath the wind. He was well educated and skilled in many arts. Nothing seemed impossible to him. This king had a wife named Lila. She had achieved much for a woman, and she was also extraordinarily beautiful. She seemed like the goddess Lakshmi herself, incarnate upon the earth. Her voice was gentle, her walk graceful, and her smile spread around her the pleasant delight of moonlight. She loved her husband, Padma, and knew how to serve him and bring him joy. Lila was one with the king, sharing his happiness and his sorrow, truly his second self. King Padma and Queen Lila lived an ideal life, enjoying every wholesome pleasure. They were young and full of life, like the gods, and their love for one another was pure and strong, without pretense or artifice. One day Lila thought, "My wonderful husband is dearer to me than my own life. What can I do so that the two of us may live forever?" And she resolved to begin ascetic practices to fulfill her desire.
Lila decided, I shall immediately begin the ascetic practices advised by the wise to fulfill my desire. She went to seek the counsel of sages. They told her ascetic practices, bodily austerities, repetition of mantras, and a disciplined life will certainly lead you to whatever is possible in this world. But physical immortality is impossible. The queen thought, if I must die before my husband, I shall attain self-realization and be free from suffering. But if he dies before me, I must strive now so that the gods fulfill my desire and his spirit cannot leave our palace. I shall be happy knowing that he is always here with me. Having resolved this, Lila began praying to the goddess Saraswati without revealing her intention to her husband. She ate only once every 3 nights, after prolonged prayers to God, the holy ones, her teacher, scholars and sages. She was certain that her efforts would not be wasted, and this certainty gave her strength. After 100 such 3-night fasts and prayers, the goddess Saraswati appeared before her. Lila said, "O Divine Mother, fulfill 2 requests. When my husband leaves his body, let his spirit remain in the palace, and whenever I pray to you, alls appear before me." Saraswati promised to fulfill both wishes and disappeared. Time passed. King Padma, mortally wounded in battle, died in the palace. Lila was inconsolable. Then the voice of Saraswati spoke. "My child, cover the body of the king with flowers, and it will not decay. He will not leave the palace." Lila did so, but she was not satisfied. She called Saraswati, and the goddess appeared before her. "My child, why do you suffer?" Lila asked, "Tell me, where is my husband now?" Saraswati replied, "O Lila, there are 3 kinds of space: psychological space, physical space, and the infinite space of consciousness. The most subtle is the infinite space of consciousness. Through intense meditation upon this infinite consciousness, you can see and experience the presence of anyone whose body exists within it. If you abandon all thoughts here and now, you will experience unity with everything. Usually only one who has understood the complete non-existence of the universe can experience this. But through my grace, I shall show it to you." Lila began to meditate and immediately entered the highest state of consciousness. She found herself in infinite space and again saw the king upon his throne, surrounded by other kings, sages, holy men, women and guards. She saw them, but they did not see her, because one's own thought forms are visible only to oneself. She saw that the king had a young body and that all those who had been at King Padma's court were there with him. She was astonished that they too were dead by Saraswati's grace. Lila returned to her palace and saw all her servants asleep. She awakened them and ordered the immediate gathering of the entire royal court. Messengers were sent in every direction, and soon the palace was filled with ministers, sages, servants, friends, and relatives. Seeing them all together, Lila rejoiced. But then she became puzzled. It is strange. All these people seem to exist simultaneously in 2 different places. In the place I saw in meditation, and here before me. As a mountain is seen both in a mirror and outside it, this creation is visible within consciousness and outside it. But which is real and which is merely a reflection? She called Saraswati, "Be gracious, goddess, and tell me,
that in which this world is reflected is exceedingly pure and indivisible, and it is not an object of knowledge. This world exists within it as a reflection, and outside it as something material. Where is reality? And where is reflection? Saraswati asked, "First tell me what you consider real." Lila answered, "That I am here now and you are before me. This I consider real. The place where my husband is, I considered unreal." Saraswati said, "How can the unreal be the result of the real? The result has the same nature as its cause. What was the material cause of your husband's birth? When you do not find an immediate cause for a result, then surely its cause existed in the past, in memory. Memory is like empty space. Everything created here is the result of that emptiness. And therefore the created is also empty."
The birth of your husband is an illusory product of memory. And all this I see as an illusory and unreal result of imagination. I shall tell you a story that reveals the dreamlike nature of this creation. In pure consciousness, in a corner of the Creator's mind, there once stood a dilapidated temple covered by a blue dome. The 14 worlds were its rooms, the 3 divisions of space were its holes. The sun was its light. Within it were little anthills serving as cities, little heaps of earth as mountains, and tiny pools of water as oceans. This is creation, the universe. In a very small corner of it lived a holy man with his wife and children. He was healthy and fearless and faithfully performed his religious and social duties. This holy man was known as Vasishtha, and his wife was called Arundhati. These were different, Vasishtha and Arundhati, not those known from the ancient legends. One day, while sitting upon a hill, the holy man saw below a magnificent procession. A king was riding upon a huge elephant, followed by an army and the rest of the royal court. Seeing this, a desire arose in his heart. Indeed, the life of a king is rich, full of pleasure and glory. When shall I ride upon a royal elephant with such an army following me? After some time, the holy man grew old and died. His faithful wife prayed to me and asked for the same fulfillment you desired, that the spirit of her husband should never leave her home. I granted her wish, although this holy man was an inferior being. Because of his strong and constant desire from a previous life, he became a great king and ruled a vast empire resembling heaven upon earth. His enemies feared him. To women he was like an angel. Against temptation he was firm as a mountain. He reflected all the scriptures like a mirror. He fulfilled the wishes of the needy
and welcomed wandering monks. He was filled with righteousness. Arundhati also left her body and was reunited with her husband. 8 days have passed since then. Lila, this holy man is the very one who is now your husband, the king. And you are that same Arundhati who was his wife. Through misunderstanding and delusion, all this appears to be taking place within infinite consciousness, and you may regard it as truth or non-truth. Lila asked, "O goddess, all this seems so strange and impossible. It is like saying that a huge elephant is tied in the center of a mustard seed, that a mosquito fought a lion within an atom, or that a mountain is hidden inside a lotus bud." Saraswati said, "My dear, I do not speak nonsense, but only truth. It seems impossible, yet this entire kingdom exists within the holy man's hut only because he desired a kingdom. The memory of the past is hidden, and both of you have been born again as human beings. Death is only awakening from a dream. Birth arising from desire is no more real than desire itself. Like waves in a mirage. Lila, your home, you, I, and everything around you are pure consciousness and nothing more. Your home exists within the home of the holy Vasishtha, within the space of his individual consciousness. There were rivers, mountains, and everything else. Even after all this was created, within the holy man's home, he remained unchanged. Truly, within every atom are worlds within worlds. Lila asked, "O goddess, you said that only 8 days have passed since this holy man died. Yet my husband and I lived for a long time. How can this be explained?" Saraswati said, "O Lila, just as space has no definite extent, time has no definite extent, just as the world and its creation are only appearances, so a moment and an age are only imagination. There is nothing real in them. In the blink of an eye, individual consciousness experiences the illusion of death, forgets what happened before, and within infinite consciousness thinks, I am this or that. I am his son. My age is such and such. And so on."
There is little difference between the experience of this world and another. Both are merely thought forms in infinite consciousness, like two waves in one ocean. Because these worlds were never created, they can never be destroyed. Their true nature is consciousness. As in a dream, one may experience birth, death and different relationships within a very short time. So individual consciousness experiences perceived and unperceived objects in a single instant. Immediately afterward imagines that these objects and the whole world are real. Even what was never seen may appear before it, as in a dream. This world and this creation are nothing but memory and dream. Distances, intervals of time, moments, ages, and even age itself are hallucinations. This is one kind of knowledge, memory. There is another kind, not based on memories of past experience, the fruitful meeting between an atom and consciousness, which may produce its own effects. Liberation is understanding the complete non-existence of this universe as such. It is not merely renouncing the existence of ego and the universe. That is only half knowledge. Liberation is understanding that all this is pure awareness. Lila asked, "O Goddess, without a previous hallucination, how could the holy man and his wife have come into existence?" Saraswati said, "It was the result of a thought form of the creator Brahma. He had no hidden thought forms or memories. Because before this creation there had been dissolution, and the creator had attained liberation. At the beginning of every age, someone assumes the role of creator and thinks, 'I am the new creator.' It is merely coincidence, like a crow landing on a palm tree as a coconut falls at that same moment. Although all this appears real, there is actually no creator. There is only infinite consciousness, thought, form, or experience. There are no causes and effects here. Cause and effect are only words. Infinite consciousness is eternally in infinite consciousness." Lila said, "O Goddess, your words truly enlighten me. Yet I have never heard such wisdom and do not fully understand it. I would like to see the home of the holy Vasishtha." Saraswati said, "O Lila, abandon your form and attain pure spiritual vision. Only Brahman can see and understand. Brahman. My body is made of pure light and pure consciousness. If you have a body of light, you will immediately see the holy man's home. Say, 'I shall leave my body here and take a body of light.' With this body, like the fragrance of incense, I shall go to the holy man's home. As water mixes with water, you will merge with the space of awareness. Through constant practice, your body will become a body of pure consciousness. I see even this body as consciousness. You do not see it because you perceive the material world as a fool mistakes a precious jewel for a stone. This misunderstanding disappears with wisdom and right inquiry. In truth, even this misunderstanding does not exist. There is neither wisdom nor ignorance, neither freedom nor bondage. All is pure awareness." Saraswati continued, "Dear Lila, The body seen in a dream appears real, but after awakening, its reality disappears. In the same way, this physical body, sustained by memories and hidden tendencies, is seen as unreal when those memories and tendencies are seen as unreal. When the dream ends, deep sleep begins. When the seeds of thought disappeared, enlightenment is found. In enlightenment, the seeds of thought do not exist. If an enlightened sage seems to live and think, it is only an appearance, like a burnt cloth that still retains its shape. Yet enlightenment is not deep sleep or unconsciousness. Through constant practice, egoism is quieted. Then you naturally remain in awareness, and the experienced universe tends towards zero. What is called practice? To think only of this, speak of it, discuss it together, and devote oneself completely to it. Among the wise, this is called practice. Then the intellect is filled with beauty and bliss. Vision is broad and desire for sensual pleasures is absent. This is practice. When you are firmly convinced that this universe was never created and therefore does not exist as such, and when the thoughts, this is the world and this is me, no longer arise, this is practice. Then attraction and rejection do not arise. To fight them by force of will is austerity, not wisdom.
Saraswati and Queen. Lila immediately sat down for meditation and entered deep samadhi. They went beyond bodily consciousness because they had abandoned all concepts of the world. The world completely disappeared from their awareness. They could travel anywhere in their bodies of wisdom. Although it seemed that they had traveled millions of miles through space, they remained in the same room, but in another space of awareness. Vasishtha continued. Holding each other's hands, Saraswati and Lila slowly descended into distant regions of space. This space was extremely pure and completely empty. They rested upon the summit of Mount Meru, the axis of the earth. As they traveled around the orbit of the moon, they saw an infinite variety of wondrous sights. They traveled together with immense clouds through space. They entered the infinite space, the source of countless beings in countless worlds. They saw the 7 greatest mountains in space, shining as though in the fire of destruction. They saw golden plains beside Meru and the densest forms of darkness. They saw Siddhas,
beings possessing supernatural powers, crowds of demons, goblins and spirits, cosmic vehicles traveling everywhere, celestial nymphs dancing and singing, countless birds and animals, angels and gods, great yogis, and the place where Shiva and the other gods dwelled. Like a pair of mosquitoes, they flew through all these spaces. They saw everything that already existed in Sarasvati's mind, and that she wished to show. Lila, after seeing all these oceans, mountains and gods, heavens and regions beneath the earth, Lila finally saw her own home. Vasishtha continued, "O Rama, the two ladies then entered the home of the holy man. The whole family was in mourning, and a heavy atmosphere filled the house. Through the yoga of pure consciousness, Lila had gained the ability to materialize her thoughts. She wished, 'Let my relatives see Sarasvati and me as ordinary women.' And so they appeared before the grieving family. Yet both women shone with inner light and dispelled the sorrow that filled the house. The eldest son of the deceased holy couple welcomed the two women, taking them for two forest angels. He said, 'O angels of the forest, surely you have come here to dispel our grief. Such is the nature of divine beings. They always seek to relieve the suffering of others.' The two ladies asked the young man, 'Tell us the cause of your sorrow. Why are all these people so sad?' The son of the holy couple replied, 'O ladies, a humble man and his loving wife lived in this house, and both were deeply righteous. Recently they left their children and grandchildren, their home and possessions, and departed for heaven. Therefore the whole world seems empty to us. Look, O ladies, even the birds mourn those who have gone. Even the gods weep as rain. The trees weep every morning with drops of dew. Having left this earth, my parents have surely gone to the world of the immortals." Hearing this, Lila placed her hand upon the young man's head. And in that very moment, his sorrow disappeared. Seeing this, everyone else also felt relieved. Rama asked, "O wise one, why did Lila not appear to her own son as his mother? Rama, one who has realized,
The unreality of material objects sees only the one indivisible consciousness everywhere. One who sleeps does not see this world, while a person in deep coma may see other worlds. Lila understood this truth. For one who has realized that Brahman consciousness and the Supreme Self are the one infinite consciousness, who is a son, friend, or wife. Even the placing of her hand upon his head was a spontaneous expression of divine grace. After blessing the family of the deceased holy man, the two women disappeared, and the comforted members of the family returned to their homes. Lila turned to Saraswati and asked, "In that state, our bodies were neither metamaterial like earth, nor psychosomatic like the vital force. They were like two objects in a dream speaking to each other. Why did my family see me, while my husband did not see me when we visited him?" At that time, you had not completely abandoned the notion. I am Lila. But now you have transcended bodily consciousness. Until the perception of duality disappears, you cannot act within infinite consciousness, nor can you understand it, just as one standing in the sun does not know the coolness of the shade. Now, if you go to your husband, you will be able to interact with him fully as before. Lila said, "O Goddess, here my husband was a holy man, and I was his wife. Here I was his queen, here he died, and here he rules again. I beg you, take me to where I can see him." Lila, you and your husband have passed through many incarnations, 3 of which you now know. In this incarnation, the king has become deeply absorbed in worldly affairs and thinks, "I am the ruler, I am powerful and happy." From the spiritual point of view, the entire universe exists right here. Yet from the physical point of view, millions of miles separate different spaces in infinite consciousness. Within every atom, universes arise and disappear like dust particles in a ray of light entering through a hole in a roof. They appear and vanish like waves upon the surface of an ocean. Lila began to remember. O Goddess, since I first appeared as a reflection in infinite consciousness, I have had 800 births. Now I see them. I was a celestial nymph, an evil woman, a serpent, a savage woman, and because of bad deeds, a reptile then. Through my closeness to sages, I became the daughter of a sage. I became a king. Then, because of my transgressions, a mosquito, a bee, a tortoise, a swan, and again, a mosquito! I was also a celestial nymph, and heavenly beings of male form fell at my feet,
as the scales of a balance constantly rise and fall. So, I was caught in the pendulum of repeated existence, samsara. Rama asked, O wise one, how could they travel to distant galaxies and overcome the many obstacles along the way? O Rama, where is that universe? Where are those galaxies? And where are the obstacles? The two women remained in the queen's chambers all the time. It was there that the holy Vasishtha ruled as King Vidaratha. And he was the same king who had previously been King Padma. All this happened within empty space. There is no universe, no distance, and no obstacle.
Two women speaking together left the room and walked toward the village on the mountain top. The beauty and glory of this mountain were indescribable. The houses were covered with flowers constantly falling from the trees. Girls slept in their rooms upon beds of clouds, and the houses were illuminated by lightning. Through intense practice of the yoga of wisdom, Lila gained complete knowledge of the past, present, and future. She remembered her past and said to Saraswati,
O goddess, some time ago, I was an old woman and lived here. I was very righteous, but I never contemplated the nature of my own consciousness. My husband was also good, virtuous and intelligent, but his inner intelligence had not awakened either. We were examples of good conduct, and through our actions we showed others how they should live. Saying this, Lila showed Saraswati her former home and continued, Look, this is my beloved calf. Because of our separation, it has not even eaten grass and has been crying for the last 8 days. In this palace, my husband ruled the world. Because of his powerful will and desire to become great, he actually became an emperor in 8 days. Although it seemed to be a very long time, just as air moves invisibly through space, so my invisible husband lives in the space of this house. Here we imagined my husband's enormous kingdom, which in reality is no larger than a little finger. Oh goddess, surely my husband and I are pure consciousness, yet through the wondrous illusory power of Maya, my husband's kingdom came to contain hundreds of mountain peaks. This is truly marvelous. I want to go to the capital of my husband's kingdom. Let us go there, for we can do anything. Together with Saraswati, Queen Lila rose into the sky. They traveled beyond the region of the pole. Star beyond the From there Lila saw that even the sun and the moon were far below and barely visible. Sarasvati said, "Dear one, you must go still farther, to the very summit of creation. Everything you have seen is only a few fragments of it." Soon they reached the very summit, for the desire of one whose consciousness is pure and unobstructed becomes law. Here Lila saw that creation existed in successive layers of water, fire, air, and space, and beyond all this was pure consciousness. This supreme infinite consciousness was pure, peaceful, free from illusion and resting within itself. In it Lila saw infinite creations floating like particles of dust in a beam of light. The projections of the individual consciousnesses within these universes gave them their forms and qualities. Because their original essence is infinite consciousness, they continually appeared again and again, and through the power of their own thoughts, returned to a state of stillness effortlessly, like a child at play. Rama asked, "What do people mean by above, below, and so forth, if only the infinite is real?" "O Rama, when ants crawl upon a stone, whatever is beneath their feet is always below, and whatever is above them is above. This is what people mean when they speak of these directions among these infinite universes. O Rama, some contain only plants, some contain gods, some contain nothing at all, some contain only animals and birds, some are only ocean, some are entirely stone, some contain only worms, some are filled with total darkness, and some are always illuminated. Some are already on the path toward destruction, because consciousness exists always and everywhere. Creation and destruction of these universes are also constantly occurring everywhere. All are united by a mysterious, all-pervading power. Lila saw her royal chambers, where the dead body of the king lay beneath a heap of flowers. She intensely desired to see her husband's other lives. At that very moment she passed through the summit of the universe and found herself in the reality where her husband now ruled. At the same time, the mighty king who Sindhu surrounded her husband's kingdom. As the two women flew through the space above the battlefield, they encountered many celestial beings who had also come to watch the battle and the deeds of the heroes. Rama asked, "O wise one, tell me, who among these warriors is a hero, and who is merely a beast and a criminal?" Vasishtha answered, "O Rama, one who fights according to the teachings of the scriptures, for a righteous king of flawless conduct, whether he wins or loses, is a hero. One who fights for an unrighteous monarch, who torments people and abuses their bodies, even if he dies in battle, is a wretch and a criminal and goes directly to hell. One who fights for his home, his friends, and the holy ones is an ornament of heaven. But those who fight for a king who takes pleasure in humiliating people, even if he is only a landowner and not a king, go to the lowest realms. Only the hero who dies in battle reaches heaven. Those who fight for unrighteous purposes do not reach heaven, even if they die. O Rama, from above the battlefield, guide us out to enormous armies moving toward each other. When evening came, her husband gathered his military council and then fell asleep. The two women left the battlefield and, moving like a breath of air, entered the chambers where the king slept. Rama asked, "O Holy One, the body seems so large and heavy. How can it pass through such a small opening?" Vasishtha answered, "O Rama, this is impossible for one who is firmly established in the thought that he is a physical body. The inner conviction, I am a body whose movement is impossible, itself becomes the obstacle to movement. Where the first is absent, the second is also absent. Just as water always remains water and flows downward, and fire never abandons its nature of rising upward, consciousness always remains consciousness. One who does not understand this
does not experience his subtle or true nature. As is his understanding, so is his mind, because understanding itself is the mind, and its direction can be changed through tremendous effort. Usually a person acts according to his understanding, but one who knows that his body is subtle, can any obstacle hold him back? Truly the body of everyone, everywhere is pure consciousness, but because of an idea rising in the heart, it appears to come and go. The same infinite consciousness is both individual consciousness or mind, and cosmic space or matter. Therefore, the subtle body can enter anywhere and everywhere, following wherever the desire of the heart leads.
O Rama, the consciousness of every being possesses this nature and power. Within each consciousness exist different ideas about the world. Death and similar experiences are like cosmic dissolution, the night of cosmic consciousness. When this ends, everyone awakens into their own mind-created world, a materialization of their ideas, concepts and delusions. Just as the cosmic being creates the universe after cosmic dissolution, so the individual creates his own world after death. Yet deities such as Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, and the great sages attain final liberation during cosmic dissolution, and their creation in the following cycle no longer arises from memory. For other beings, the new creation after death is determined by the impressions of experiences during life that remain in the mind. Immediately after death comes a state in which one is neither here nor there. Consciousness seems to slightly open its eyes, though it never actually does. This state is called the material or inert state of consciousness. It is also known as the subtle or unmanifest essence, and it is simultaneously conscious and unconscious. It is responsible both for memory and for the absence of memory, and therefore determines the next birth. When this subtle essence awakens and the sense of ego arises within consciousness, the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, emerge from it together with space-time and everything material required for physical birth and existence. They then condense into their physical counterparts in dream and waking states. Sensations of the physical body arise from them. But in reality, all this constitutes the subtle body of individual consciousness. When the idea, I am the body, becomes firmly rooted, this subtle body develops physical characteristics, eyes and so forth. Although all this occurs only like a vibration or a passing breeze. Even when all this appears real, it is no more real than the experience of love in a dream. When a person dies, individual consciousness sees everything that happens. Within the space of consciousness itself, it imagines this is the world and this is me. Believing that it has been born, it experiences a world that is nothing but space, and individual consciousness itself is also space. It thinks, he is my father, she is my mother, this is my wealth. I have done something wonderful, and alas, I have sinned. It imagines, I was a child and now I have become a young man, and all this it sees within its own heart. This forest of creation arises in the heart of every individual consciousness. When a person dies, he sees this forest there, and then, thus, countless worlds born in the consciousness of limited individual beings eventually disappear. Countless Brahmas, Rudras, Vishnus, and suns also disappear. The illusory perception of creation has occurred countless times, is occurring now, and will occur again. All this is not different from infinite consciousness. In truth, mental activity itself is consciousness. And this consciousness is the highest reality.
The 2 women entered the chambers where the king slept, like 2 goddesses, beautiful as 2 moons, at their command. All the king's servants also fell asleep. When they sat down, the king awoke and saw them. He sat up, welcomed them, and placed flowers at their feet. Sarasvati wished the king's minister to tell Lila about the royal lineage, and at her command the minister awoke. When Sarasvati asked the king who he was, the minister informed them that he was descended from the great king Ikshvaku, and that his father was Nabhorata, who gave his kingdom to his son when he was 10 years old, and then went into the forests to lead a spiritual life. The king was called Viduratha. Sarasvati blessed Viduratha, placing her hand upon his head, and asked him to remember his previous lives. At once the king remembered everything and asked Sarasvati, "O goddess, how is it that although only one day has passed since my death, it seems that I have lived 70 full years in this body, and I remember what happened when I was young in this life? O goddess, how is it that although only one day has passed since my death, it seems that I have lived 70 full years in this body, and I remember what happened when I was young in this life?" O king, at the moment of your death, everything that you see here appeared in that very place. And all this is happening where the sage Vasishtha lived, in the village upon the hill. This is his world. Within this world is the world of King Padma. And within the world of King Padma is the world in which you now exist. You think, "These are my relatives, subjects, ministers, and enemies." You think that you rule, perform religious rites, fight your enemies and suffer defeat. You think that you see us and receive enlightenment from us. You think, "I have overcome all suffering and enjoy supreme bliss. And now I shall understand the absolute." None of this has taken any time. Just as an entire drama of life unfolds in a single instant within a dream. In reality, you were never born and you never die. You seem to see all this, yet you do not see it. For if all this is nothing but infinite consciousness, then who sees and what is seen? Viduratha asked, "Then are my ministers independent beings? For the enlightened one, there is only one infinite consciousness, and there are no concepts of this is me and these are others." Sarasvati continued, "To the immature person who is convinced of the reality of this world, it continues to appear real, just as ghosts continue to haunt a child who believes in them. If a person admires the form of a bracelet, he does not see that it is only gold. Likewise, one who sees the splendor of palaces, elephants, and cities does not perceive that all of this is only infinite consciousness. This universe is merely a long dream The sense of ego and the notion that there are others around you are as real as objects in a dream. The only reality is infinite consciousness, all-pervading, pure, peaceful, and omnipotent, whose very being is absolute awareness. It is neither an object nor something that can be known as an object. Wherever and in whatever way this consciousness wishes to manifest itself, that is what it becomes. Therefore, when the seer imagines that he sees a human being, the human being appears precisely there. Because the substratum, infinite consciousness, is real. Everything based upon it also acquires reality. Not reality of its own, but reality derived from the substratum. This universe and all beings within it are only a long dream. I am real to you, and you are real to me. Likewise, others are real to both of us. And this relative reality is like the reality of objects in a dream.
Rama asked, O Holy One, in the case of a city seen in a dream, if it continues afterward as though it were real, is this what you mean? The sister answered, You are right, O Rama, because a dream of a city or anything else is based upon the real substratum of infinite consciousness. These objects in the dream appear real, but there is no real difference between the waking state of consciousness and the dream state. What is real for one state is unreal for the other, because both states have essentially the same nature. Therefore, the objects of waking and dream are equally unreal, except for the infinite consciousness upon which they are superimposed. Having given his teaching to the king, Saraswati blessed him and said, May good fortune accompany you. You have seen what you needed to see. Now release us, and we shall depart. Viduratha said, Soon, O goddess, I too shall leave this place. Just as in a dream one passes from one dream to another, I beg you, let my ministers and my young daughter come with me. Saraswati granted his wish. She said, O king, you will die in this war and then regain your former kingdom. After your death in this body, you will enter the former city together with your daughter and ministers. We too shall now depart, and in due time you will follow us. While Saraswati was speaking, a royal messenger rushed into the room and announced that enemy forces had entered the capital and were destroying everything. The entire capital was in flames. The two women,
the king and his ministers rushed to the window to witness the terrible scene. The city was being plundered, the raiders shouted among themselves, and everything was covered in thick smoke. The king and the others heard the anguished cries of the inhabitants. Everywhere there were groans, weeping, and the lamentations of women and children. Driven by attachment, men rushed into burning houses searching for their wives and children. Even the women of the royal household were dragged into the streets by the invading soldiers. Weeping and lamenting, these noble ladies did not know what to do. Such is the end of the independence of kingdoms and empires. At that moment, the queen arrived. She said, "Your Majesty, all the women of the royal household are now in the hands of the enemy. Only you can save us from this indescribable calamity." The king bowed to Saraswati and apologized. "I must now go into battle myself, O goddess. My wife will serve you in my absence." The enlightened Lila was astonished to see that the queen was an exact copy of herself. She asked Saraswati, "O goddess, why does she look so much like me? She is exactly as I was in my youth. What is this mystery? And all the ministers and other members of the court are exactly as they were in our palace. If they are merely reflections or objects of our desires, are they intelligent? Do they possess consciousness?" Saraswati answered, "O Lila, whatever vision arises within is experienced at that very instant. Consciousness, as the subject itself, becomes the object of knowledge. When an image of the world appears in consciousness, at that very moment it becomes so. Time, space, duration, and objectivity do not arise from matter, for then they themselves would be material. Whatever is reflected within someone's consciousness also manifests outwardly. What is considered a real objective world in the waking state is no more real than the world experienced in a dream. During a dream, this world does not exist. During waking, that world does not exist. Likewise, death contradicts life. While you are alive, death does not exist. And in death, life does not exist. This is because that upon which one experience is based is absent in the other. One cannot say that something is real or unreal. One can only say that the substratum alone is real.
This universe exists in Brahman only as a word and an idea. It is neither real nor unreal, like a snake mistakenly seen in a rope. The same is true of individual consciousness. It experiences desires. remembers former sensations or creates new ones. And although all these are unreal, they appear real. Such are the ministers, the Lilas, myself, and everyone else. Know this and remain at peace. The second Lila said to Saraswati, I prayed to you and you appeared to me in dreams. You look exactly like the Goddess Saraswati. When my husband dies, allow me to follow him in this very body. Saraswati replied, You have prayed to me sincerely for a long time, therefore your wish shall be fulfilled. The first Lila asked, Why did you not allow me to travel through the levels of consciousness in my body? Saraswati said, I do nothing for anyone. Every consciousness receives its state according to its own actions. I am only the power of its consciousness and life. You desired liberation and you attained it. You may call it the result of practice or prayer, but consciousness itself gives the result. Vasishtha continued. Meanwhile, Viduratha went into battle, underestimating the enemy. The two Lilas, Saraswati and the princess, watched the battle. The second Lila asked, Why can my husband not win, though he has been blessed by you? Saraswati answered, Viduratha prayed to me for liberation, not for victory. I give each one what they seek. King Sindhu prayed for victory. Therefore Viduratha will die and reunite with you, and in time attain liberation. Sindhu will win and rule the kingdom. The sun rose above the battlefield. The two kings fought, surrounded by thousands of warriors. At last Viduratha was struck down by Sindhu's sword. His body was brought into the palace, where the enemy could not enter because Saraswati was present. After his fall, chaos and confusion arose. The second Lila fainted. Saraswati said to the first Lila, This war of destruction and death are real only as a dream. There is no kingdom and no earth. Everything takes place in the house of the sage. Vasishtha upon the mountain, this palace, this battlefield, and the entire universe exist within a single room of your own palace. All of this is imagination and hallucination. The only reality is infinite consciousness, never created and never destroyed, which the ignorant perceive as the universe, just as an entire city exists within a sleeping person. So the three worlds exist within a tiny atom, and every atom within those worlds contains another three worlds.
The other Lila, who had lost consciousness, had already reached the world where the body of her husband, Padma Lila, asked, "O goddess, how did she reach that world, and what do the people there say to her?" Saraswati replied, "You are both imagined forms of the king, just as the king himself and I are objects of a dream. One who knows this no longer searches for a separate object of perception. In infinite consciousness, we create one another according to our own desire. This young Lila was yourself. She prayed to me never to become a widow, and therefore she left the palace even before Viduratha died. You are individualized cosmic consciousness, while I am cosmic consciousness, bringing all these events into manifestation." Vasishtha continued. The second Lila, by Saraswati's will, rose into the sky and met her daughter. The girl introduced herself and asked to be taken to her father. The king, together they passed through the regions of clouds and air, crossed the orbit of the sun, and entered the starry heavens. They traveled onward through the realms of Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, reaching the summit of the universe. With her subtle body created through thought, Lila experienced even the icy cold. Beyond this universe, she crossed the oceans and elements surrounding it, and entered infinite consciousness, where countless universes existed, unaware of one another. She entered one of them and saw the body of King Padma lying among flowers, passing again through the regions of the gods. She reached the palace, but somehow her daughter had disappeared. She recognized her husband and thought, he died the death of a hero and has reached the heroic heavens. Through Saraswati's grace, I have physically reached this place. I am the most blessed of all. She began to fan the king's body. The first Lila asked, what did the king's servants do when they saw her? Saraswati replied, the king, his servants, and everyone else are only infinite consciousness. Yet because the real consciousness is reflected in it, and because there is a firm belief in the order of this creation, they recognize one another. The husband says, this
"This is my wife." And the wife says, "This is my husband."
A physical body cannot enter a new realm, just as light cannot coexist with darkness. While blind ignorance remains, wisdom cannot arise. When the knowledge of the subtle body appears, the physical body is no longer seen as truly real. This happened because I fulfilled her desire.
She thinks it has happened exactly as I was promised,
And therefore believes she reached her husband in her physical body. Through ignorance one may see a snake in a rope, but the rope never becomes a snake. Saraswati said, only one who has attained wisdom can enter the subtle realms, O Lila. This Lila has not attained such wisdom, therefore she only imagined that she had reached the city where her husband lived.
Saraswati, Saraswati, Saraswati,
Enlightened Lila said, let it be as you say, O Goddess. But tell me, how do objects acquire their qualities? How does fire become hot, ice cold and earth hard? How did the order of the world, birth and death, first arise? Saraswati said,
Dear one, during cosmic dissolution the entire universe disappears, and only infinite Brahman remains in peace. This infinite being, whose nature is pure consciousness, feels, I am, and then, I am an atom of light. It imagines within itself countless beings, and because its nature is pure consciousness, this imagined creation appears real, together with objects and their qualities. Whatever was imagined during the first creation remains in the same order even now. Thus the cosmic order arose. All these qualities existed potentially even during dissolution. For how can something become nothing? Gold that takes the form of a bracelet cannot become completely formless. Therefore, although all elements of creation are empty, their order and qualities continue. Yet this is only relative truth. In reality, the universe was never created. There is only infinite consciousness and nothing else. Saraswati continued. According to the order of the first creation, human beings lived for 1, 2, 3, or 400 years. The length of life depends on the purity of country, time, activity, food, and other substances. One who follows the spiritual laws receives the lifespan ordained by them. Enlightened Lila asked, "O goddess, enlighten me about death. Is it pleasant or painful, and what happens after it?"
Saraswati said,
"There are 3 kinds of people: the fool, the one who practices concentration and meditation, and the yogi, the wise one. The latter 2 leave the body through yoga, concentration, and meditation according to their will. The fool, who practices nothing, is ruled by external forces and experiences great fear as death approaches. His breathing becomes difficult, his body loses its color, and consciousness sinks into darkness. He sees earth as space and heaven as solid ground. He feels as though he is falling into a well, entering a stone, moving at immense speed, melting like snow, or being dragged by a rope. He wishes to express his suffering but cannot. Gradually his senses weaken and he can no longer think. Thus he sinks into ignorance. Yet all this is imagination. How can infinite consciousness cease to exist? A human being is nothing but infinite consciousness. Who dies and when? Even if millions of bodies perish, infinite consciousness remains untouched. When the movement of the life force ceases, the consciousness of the being becomes completely passive. Remember, O Lila, consciousness is pure, eternal, and infinite. It neither arises nor disappears. It is always present in moving and unmoving things and beings, in the sky, the mountains, fire, and air. When the life force ceases to move, the body is called dead or inert. The life force or breath returns to its source, the air, and consciousness, freed from memory and latent tendencies, remains as consciousness. This most subtle part, which carries memory and tendencies, is known as individual consciousness, and it remains in space where the dead body lies. It is also called the soul. This individual consciousness leaves behind its previous ideas and what it had seen before, and perceives its surroundings as though in a dream or half sleep. A moment after losing awareness, the individual consciousness begins to imagine that it sees another body, another world, and another life.
O Lila, there are 6 categories of such souls: the bad, the worst, and the most terrible sinners. the good, the better, and the best among the virtuous, of course. There are many degrees between them. For the worst sinners, loss of consciousness may last for a very long time. They pass through terrible suffering in hell and are then born in countless living forms until their suffering comes to an end. They may even exist as trees. The ordinary sinners also experience a long loss of consciousness and are then born as worms and animals. The lesser sinners are soon born as human beings. The best among the best rise to the heavens, enjoy heavenly life, and are later born into good and influential families on earth. The middle among the best pass through the realms of the celestial beings and return to earth as children of good families. Even the virtuous after death and heavenly life must pass through the realms of the demigods to exhaust the consequences of harmful actions they may once have performed. Saraswati continued. All these departed souls experience the results of their own past actions. First comes the thought, I have died, followed by the messengers of death are taking me away. The best among them think they are being taken to heaven, while ordinary sinners imagine themselves standing before divine judgment. Whatever the individual consciousness sees, that is what it experiences. For in the infinite space of consciousness there is no time, action, or limitation. Then consciousness thinks, the god of death has sent me to heaven or hell. I am enjoying heavenly pleasures or suffering torments, or I have been born as an animal. Thus individual consciousness enters the body of a man with the food he has eaten. From there it passes into a woman and is born into this world, once again living according to the results of its past actions. Here it waxes and wanes like the moon, again passing through old age and death. This happens again and again until consciousness awakens to self-knowledge. Enlightened Lila asked, "Oh, Goddess, tell me how all this was. in the very beginning. Saraswati replied, mountains, forests, earth and sky, all this is only infinite consciousness. It is the true essence of everything, the reality within everything, and therefore pure infinite consciousness becomes whatever form it manifests, as when the life force enters bodies and begins to move their parts, those bodies are said to live. When the life force does not vibrate, these bodies are called plants and trees. Only a small part of consciousness becomes intellect within these bodies. Entering them, the intellect brings forth the various organs, eyes, and so on. Whatever this consciousness imagines itself to be, that is the form it becomes. Therefore, consciousness exists within every body, imagining itself as a tree. It becomes a tree. Imagining itself as stone or grass, it becomes stone or grass.
There is no difference between the intelligent and the unintelligent, the inert and the intellectual. There is no difference at all in their essence, because infinite consciousness is equally present everywhere. The only difference lies in the intellect identifying itself with different forms. The same infinite consciousness is known by different names and different objects. It is the same infinite consciousness that the intellect recognizes as worms, ants, and birds. Within it, there are no comparisons, no sense of difference. Just as people living at the North Pole do not see or compare themselves with people living at the South Pole, each separate form, receiving its name from the intellect, exists in itself without being different from any other form. To call one conscious and another unconscious is like frogs born upon one stone and beside it believing themselves different. One intelligent and the other not intellect, as a part of infinite consciousness, is present everywhere and is everything around us. Whatever it imagines itself to be, that is what it becomes. At the beginning of creation, it imagined itself as space, as a breath of wind, as an intelligent or unintelligent being. All this is merely the imagination of intellect. External forms are not real, although they appear to be. O Lila, I think King Vidarata now wishes to enter the heart of King Padma. He is approaching him. Enlightened Lila said, "O goddess, let us go there too."
Saraswati replied. Moving toward the ego principle in Padma's heart, Vidarata imagines that he is entering another world. Let us go by our own paths. Each has a path of his own, Vasishtha continued. At that moment, the life force left Vidarata's body, like birds leaving a tree that is about to fall. His intellect rose into the air in an ethereal form. Lila and Saraswati saw this and followed him. After a few moments, when the period of unconsciousness had passed, this ethereal form became conscious. It traveled southward and reached the abode of the god of death. He declared that the king had committed no sins and ordered his messengers to allow him to enter his own former body, Padma. At that very moment, Vidarata's individual consciousness entered another universe, where Padma's body lay, and entered the palace. Vidarata was connected with Padma through the latter's sense of ego, just as a traveler in distant lands remains connected to the place where he buried his treasure. Rama asked, "O wise sage, if a person's relatives cannot properly perform the funeral rites, how can that person obtain an ethereal form?" Vasishtha replied, "Whether the rites are performed correctly or not, if the departing person believes that they were performed, he receives an ethereal form. It is a well-known truth. As your consciousness is, so are you." Objects arise from desire, and desire also arises from objects. Poison may become nectar through desire or faith. Likewise, an unreal object may become real through powerful belief. Without a cause, there can be no result. And therefore, there is no desire or thought. Nothing has ever arisen or been created. There is only the one causeless, infinite consciousness. Be certain of this. If funeral rites are performed by relatives with sincere faith, they help the intellect of the departed soul. Unless it is completely immersed in sin.
Lila and Saraswati entered the beautiful palace and came to the chamber where Padma's body lay. All the servants were asleep. Sitting beside the body, they saw another Lila fanning the king with a ceremonial fan. The first Lila and Saraswati could see her, but she could not see them. Rama asked, "You said that the first Lila temporarily left her body beside the king and traveled with Saraswati in an ethereal body. But what happened to her physical body?" Vasishtha replied, "When the first Lila became enlightened, the egoic imagination that bound her ethereal being to the physical form dissolved like snow. In truth, it was only Lila's ignorance that made her believe she possessed a physical body. It is like a dream. If in a dream you believe, 'I am a deer,' then when you awaken, where is the deer? Would you go searching for it?" In the mind of the ignorant, the unreal appears real. But when the delusion disappears, just as when you understand that what lies before you is a rope and not a snake, the false imagination disappears with it. The conviction that the unreal is real becomes deeply rooted through repeated fantasy. Yet even without destroying an ethereal body, one may pass from one form into another, just as in a dream one form may become another without destroying the previous one. In truth, the body of a yogi is invisible and ethereal. Although to an uncomprehending observer it appears physical, only through ignorance can such an observer say, "This yogi has died." For where is that body which truly exists? And who is there to die? What is real simply as only delusion can disappear. Rama asked, "Wise one, does the yogi's body then become ethereal?" Vasishtha replied, "How many times have I told you this, O Rama, and still you do not understand? There is only the ethereal body. Through constant imagination it appears to be bound to a physical body. Just as an ignorant person possesses a subtle body even after death. When the physical body is cremated, so the enlightened yogi possesses an ethereal body while still alive. The physical body is a creation of ignorant imagination and is not truly real. There is, in reality, no difference between the body and ignorance. To imagine them as two separate things, that itself is samsara, the endless repetition of the same story. Vasishtha continued, "Meanwhile, Saraswati held back Vidurata's individual consciousness and did not allow it to enter Padma's body. The enlightened Lila asked Saraswati, 'O goddess, how much time has passed since I sat here absorbed in contemplation?' Saraswati replied, 'Dear one, a month has passed since you entered meditation. During the first 15 days your body dried up. It became like a dry leaf and fell away. Then it became hard and cold. The ministers thought that you had voluntarily abandoned your life and they burned the body. Now by your own will, you have appeared here again in your ethereal form.
You carry neither memories of your former life nor hidden tendencies from previous incarnations. When the intellect realizes its ethereal nature, the body is forgotten, just as in youth, one forgets the life of the embryo. Today is the 31st day, and you are here again. Come, let us reveal ourselves to this other Lila. When the second Lila saw them before her, she fell at their feet. Saraswati asked her, "Tell us, how did you come here?" The second Lila replied, "When I lost consciousness in Vidurata's palace, for some time I remembered nothing. Then I saw my subtle body rise into the sky and enter a celestial chariot, which brought me here. I saw Vidurata sleeping among the flowers. I thought he was exhausted from the battle, so I did not awaken him. I simply remained beside him, fanning him. Then Saraswati allowed Vidurata's consciousness to enter his body, and the king immediately awoke as though from a deep sleep.
The two Lilas bowed before the king. The king asked the enlightened Lila, "Who are you? Who is she? And where did she come from?" The enlightened Lila replied, "I am your wife from a former incarnation, and your constant companion, like a word and its meaning. This Lila is your other wife. She is my own reflection, created by me for your delight. And the one sitting upon the golden throne is the Goddess Saraswati herself. She is here because we have all been extraordinarily fortunate." Hearing this, the king rose and greeted Saraswati. Saraswati blessed him with long life, wealth, prosperity, and every blessing, and also with enlightenment. Having fulfilled the king's wishes, Saraswati disappeared. The king and queen embraced one another. The awakened servants rejoiced that their king and queen had returned to life. Great celebrations began throughout the kingdom. For a long time, people told the story of how Queen Lila had returned from another world together with another Lila, given to the king as a gift
The king heard from the enlightened Lila everything that had happened during the previous month. He continued to rule and enjoy all three worlds through the grace of Saraswati. A grace that without doubt had also been earned through his own efforts. Thus, O Rama, is the story of Lila that I have told you in detail. Contemplation of this story will remove from your mind even the slightest belief in the reality of what is perceived. In truth, only that which is real can be removed. How can the unreal be removed? There is nothing to remove, for everything that appears to exist is only infinite consciousness. Everything is exactly as it is. Nothing has ever truly been created. You may say that what appears to exist is a creation of Maya, but Maya itself is also unreal. Rama said, O Holy One, what magnificent vision of the highest truth you have revealed to me. Yet, O Wise One, my hunger for the nectar of your enlightening words cannot be satisfied. Please explain to me the mystery of time. In the story of Lila, sometimes an entire lifetime passes in 8 days, and sometimes in a month I am bewildered. Does time flow differently in different universes? Vasishtha replied, O Rama, whatever thought arises within one's own intellect, that alone is experienced by it. Even nectar may become poison to one who believes it to be poison. Friends become enemies, and enemies become friends, solely according to one's inner state. An object is experienced strictly according to the feelings within. For one who suffers, a single night may seem to last an eternity, while a night of joyful celebration passes in an instant. In a dream, 1 second may last an entire age. The whole lifetime of Manu is only an hour and a half for Brahma. The lifetime of Brahma is only 1 day for Vishnu, and the lifetime of Vishnu is 1 day for Shiva. But for the wise one whose consciousness has gone beyond all limitations, there is neither day nor night. The yogi knows that it is the mind itself that turns sweetness into bitterness, friends into enemies, and enemies into friends. In the same way, by changing one's perspective and through constant practice, one can develop a taste for studying the scriptures, repeating mantras, and other things that once seemed uninteresting. This is possible because these qualities do not exist in the objects themselves. They exist within the mind. Just as one suffering from seasickness sees the entire world around him as moving and shaking, So the ignorant believe that these qualities belong to the objects themselves.
A drunkard may see emptiness where there is a wall, and a non-existent ghost may kill a fool who believes he sees it. This world is only a vibration of consciousness within space. It appears to exist just as a ghost appears to exist to the one who sees it. All of this is Maya, delusion. There is no contradictions between infinite consciousness and the apparent existence of the universe. It is like the astonishing dream of one who never sleeps. O Rama, in autumn trees shed their leaves. O Rama, in autumn trees shed their leaves, and in spring young leaves appear again. What appears in spring was not created from nothing. It was already hidden within the tree.
So creation always exists within absolute consciousness. It is not always visible, just as the flowing nature of gold is not always apparent. When one cosmic age ends and another begins, a new creator seems to project a universe from memory, yet that memory too has infinite consciousness. When the intellect becomes established in the truth of infinite consciousness, liberation is attained. Yet a person seems to be pulled in two directions, toward realization of Brahman and toward accepting the world as independently real. The one who strives with all his strength for realization prevails.
Rama asked, how do the ideas of I and the world rise?
Vasishtha replied, in truth there is only infinite consciousness. Brahman, as a bracelet cannot be separated from gold, and a wave cannot be separated from water, the universe cannot be separated from Brahman. Within infinite consciousness, there appears a failure to recognize its own infinite nature. Thus the apparent I and world arise.
As a sculpture already exists within stone before the sculptor touches it, the ideas of I and world exist potentially within infinite consciousness. As waves rest in the still ocean, the manifested world rests in consciousness. This is called creation. But in the highest reality, there is no act of creation. Brahman does not create the universe as something separate from itself. It remains unchanged. With the appearance of separation comes the idea of space. Then consciousness imagines air, fire, water, and earth. Thus the appearance of the multiple universe unfolds from one consciousness. Yet consciousness remains the same before manifestation, during manifestation and after it. It has no beginning, middle, or end. The world appears real when it is directly experienced. But when the mind tries to make it an independent entity, its illusory nature becomes clear. As wind is perceived through movement, the world is perceived through the movement of consciousness. A wave never exists apart from water. In the same way, the universe never exists apart from Brahman. Creation exists within Brahman like a sprout within a seed, sweetness within milk, and heat within pepper. When there is a concept of creation, creation appears to exist. When understanding of non-creation arises, the illusion disappears. Nothing was ever truly created. Nothing truly comes to an end. Only absolute Brahman is unborn, pure consciousness, infinite peace and unchanging presence. But Rama asked, if all is Brahman, who then governs manifestation? Why do events unfold as they do? Vasishtha replied, there is a power of infinite consciousness that is constantly in movement. It is called Chit Shakti, the conscious power. It is also called Mahashakti, Mahachiti, Mahadrishti, Mahakriya, and Mahaspanda. Great power, great consciousness, great vision, great activity, and great vibration. Yet this power is not different from Brahman, as a wave is not different from water. Shakti is not different from consciousness.
This power is also called Niyati, the law that gives direction to manifestation. It is called Daiva, the divine ordering. But a wise person must never use Niyati as an excuse for inaction. Vasishtha says, Niyati works only through one's own effort. If someone says, divine will provide everything for me and does nothing, life simply passes away. Life is action. Niyati has two aspects, human and divine. One is seen when effort brings results, the other when results do not come as expected. Yet both belong to one infinite order of consciousness. Rama asked, how does individual consciousness acquire the appearance of separate reality? Vasishtha replied, individual consciousness is only a small wave upon the ocean of Brahman. When the awareness of infinity becomes obscured within this wave, the appearance of limited consciousness arises. Fed by memory and hidden tendencies, this limitation condenses into ego, the feeling, I am separate. But ego has no independent reality. When ego supports its own concepts, mind, separation, maya, and the appearance of an independent world arise. Mind imagines the five elements and experiences them as a world. It sees what it thinks. Thus consciousness, which is itself light, seems to become countless forms, trees, birds, human beings, gods, and other creatures. Individual consciousness, karma, and God are only vibrations within one consciousness. When the movement of thought creates the appearance of the world seems to exist. When the movement of thought becomes still, the vision changes. Therefore, the medicine for samsara is not escape from the world, but wisdom and self-knowledge. Knowledge corrects the error just as light reveals that what seemed to be a snake was actually a rope. When infinite consciousness is known, duality loses its power. One never truly becomes many. As one flame lights many candles while remaining the same fire, the one Brahman appears as many. In truth, there is no separate creation. Therefore, there is no true separation. The story of Lila is complete, but the journey of consciousness continues. The journey continues in the next album. The recapitulation.